Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
The Indians head out on their longest road trip of the season to date. A 10-game trek that begins tonight in Baltimore. The Tribe has had a lot of offensive success here at Camden Yards, which would be a welcome sight for one Corey Kluber, who hasn't seen a lot of help from the bats this season. The Indians will look to continue their strong play on the road next on Sports Time Ohio. Located just off Baltimore's popular Inner Harbor, you'll find Oriole Park at Camden Yards, where tonight the Indians invade for a 3-game weekend series against the Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Hopefully the Indians can take their show on the road. They've played better on the road than they have at home so far this year. And we're going to see Francisco Lindor back in the starting lineup again tonight, coming off a 6-hit homestand that included his first big league home run.
Well, when you break him down and you look at both sides of the plate, he's very similar, as a matter of fact, left-handed and right-handed. He puts the swing on the ball. If you look at him from the left side of the plate, his hands are just a little bit higher than they are from the right side. But the key for Lindor is going to be stay on top of anything that's upstairs and hit the line drives the other way. And to this point, he's done a very good job of doing that, as any young hitter, and it's going to take a while for the league to get used to him and get a chart on him.
Rick, when you look at this Baltimore Orioles team, ever since Matt Wieters came back, they've been a different club. They've won 15 of their last 20. He's a big reason why. Not in the starting lineup tonight. What else have they been doing well?
Well, offensively, they're starting to swing the bat and score a lot of runs. And we know this is a team that's always have home run power. They've hit 29 home runs in their last 20 ball games. Well, look at just under 6 runs. Average with runners in scoring position, something the Indians aren't doing. They are doing very well. Their starters haven't been pitching well, going deep into the game, but their bullpen has picked them up. So their philosophy, they've had a lot of big innings, but they've given up a lot of big innings as well.
Historically, in the last 20 years, this has been a good place for the Indians to hit and score runs, averaging almost 6 runs a ball game here in Baltimore. That would be a welcome sight for one Corey Kluber, who hasn't seen a lot of run support.
Well, it certainly would. He'd love to see him and get him early for him. But last season here in this ballpark, Kluber had a tremendous slider. He ended up pitching 7 innings, had 9 strikeouts. He was 1-0 against the Orioles last year. And, he's been on his game, and people are saying, what's wrong with Corey Kluber? Nothing is wrong with Corey Kluber that a few runs wouldn't cure. You can see the lowest runs support in the major leagues at 2.17. On the other side, he'll be matched up against Wei Chen, just coming off the getting called back up, and he has the lowest run support on his team. Last year they scored him about 6 runs a ball game, so it's a little different year for him as well.
But look at the disparity in run support. Two runs for Kluber, 3.5 for Chen. That's an embarrassment of riches.
It is.
Compared to Corey Kluber. Well, it's the Indians and the O's, and we're ready for baseball. Back with tonight's first pitch coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. 2. And the Indians now lead it 3-0. Francisco Lindor's first big league homer. Oh, he froze him. And the game is over. Now the Indians off a win at home. Off day yesterday. Now here in Baltimore. Ready to open up this weekend series against the Birds. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Terry Francona and the Tribe tonight. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jason Kipnis will lead it off. Then it's Francisco Lindor. Michael Brantley hitting third. Ryan Rayburn, Carlos Santana, and Yan Gomes are in the middle. Brandon Moss, Giovanni Urshela, and Mike Aviles round it out.
And tonight's Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher is going to be Wei-Yin Chen for the Baltimore Orioles, making his 100th start of his career. He is 3-4 and a fine .289 earned run average. Against the Indians in his career, he's 0-1, a .540 earned run average. And in his 3 career starts, he has logged at least 6 1/3 innings in every start. But the Indians are going to try and get started on a good note on this 10-game road trip.
Here comes Jason Kipnis on a 19-game hitting streak. It's the longest in the American League this year. Tied for the longest in Major League Baseball. Washington's Wilson Ramos also had a 19-game streak earlier this year. Wei-Yin Chen's first pitch of the night is up high, ball 1.
Chen with the fastball, changeup, and a breaking ball.
Arcia in the driver's seat, focusing on Jason Kipnis. It's the longest hitting streak for an Indians player since Michael Brantley hit in 22 in a row back in 2012. But you can see there, he's batting .414 during his tear.
He has been locked in for 2 months.
Low and away. And that's what I guess has been really encouraging about the hitting streak of Kipnis is how many times he's had multiple hit games during that tear.
I mean, you see hitting streaks and you see guys get on tears and play well, but never as long as Kipnis has been on one.
J.J. Hardy from his shortstop position will throw out Kipnis to start the game 1 away.
Let's check out that Oriole defense behind Chen tonight. It is brought to you by Chrysler. It is rated 2nd in the league. You've got Snyder in left field, Lowe is in center, Davis over in right, Machado at third, Hardy is in short, Flaherty at second, Parmalee at first, Joseph doing the catching. So Jones is out of the lineup, and so is Matt Wieters.
Brian Knight calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Larry Vanover is at first. Ron Culpa, Vic Carapazza are at second and third. Francisco Lindor, switch hitter, batting in the 2-hole. Slowly chopped to third. Machado in on the grass, able to throw him out. 2 down. Our window system's game time temperature is 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. No wind, no breeze really to speak of at all here at the outset. If anything, we might have a slight breeze that would potentially carry the ball a bit toward left and left center. Not that you need any help in this ballpark. The ball usually carries quite well here.
That it does.
It will bring up Michael Brantley, who was batting .293 on the year. And he lines a single into center field. Jumped on that first pitch. And a 2-out single keeps the inning alive for Cleveland. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Run support for Kluber. 25 total runs of support in his first 15 starts. 3 runs or less in all but 1 of them. And hopefully the Indians can keep their road success going. Only Kansas City has more road wins than the Indians in the Central Division. 1 more for Kansas City, and Cleveland's 18. Ryan Rayburn takes a first pitch strike. DHing. Rick, it's really been a revolving door for the Indians in that cleanup spot.
Yeah, you know, Terry hasn't had anybody there that's been able to be consistent driving in runs, so you flip flop. You know, you mix, you match, you do what you have to do. That's been the toughest thing for the Indians this year, is driving in runners. Boy, hitting with runners in scoring position, getting the big hit when you need it.
Rayburn quickly in an 0-2 hole with Brantley at first and 2 down in the first. That's fouled back out of play. Rayburn has batted .315 on the year against left-handed pitching, the bulk of his playing time this year. With a man on base, he's hit a healthy .310. Slowly chopped to third. Machado on the move, throws it on one hop, and he's still got it. Nice play by Manny Machado. And the inning is over. No runs ahead, a man left. The Orioles coming to bat when we come back. By Toyota, Manny Machado is on a tear and he's leading it off, followed by Travis Snyder. Jimmy Paredes will DH and hit third. Chris Davis, Chris Parmalee, J.J. Hardy, 4, 5, and 6 spots. Then Ryan Flaherty, Caleb Joseph, and David Lowe rounded out.
Now Corey Kluber is our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher tonight, making his 16th start, 3-9. He has not won in the month of June. He is 0-4 with an ERA of 4, but has not gotten much help all season long. Pitched very well in this ballpark last year. We're going to see if he has the same in him this year. Facing a Baltimore team that's won 15 out of their last 20.
And Kluber's first pitch a little high, ball 1. Chopped to third, right at Urshela, who's near the bag. And he throws him out, 1 down.
Let's check out the Tribe defense, brought to you by Chrysler tonight. In the outfield, it's going to be Aviles in left. Brantley is in center. Moss over in right. Urshela at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis is at second. Santana at first. Gomes back behind the plate.
That will bring up Travis Snyder. Snyder had some big hits against the Tribe in the Orioles series win against the Tribe in Cleveland. He went 5 for 12 in that series, scored 3 runs. He had a double, a triple, and a home run. Count stays 0-2.
Yeah, just did get a piece of that. Looked like it might have been a cutter.
Kluber's 2-strike pitch. Just missed there. Jimmy Paredes waits on deck. Couldn't get him to offer at it. 2-2. Kluber with 117 strikeouts and 104 innings of work on the year. Wow, from 0-2 to 3-2. Snyder won't even flinch. He hasn't come close to offering.
Tried the fastball in, a cutter. He didn't offer it, and then right there, that last pitch was a changeup.
And the payoff pitch.
Challenge
back out of play. Payoff pitch. Foul back out of play. Kluber has not had a double-digit strikeout game since May 28. His most this month came on June 3rd when he struck out 9 Royals. But he has still been the same old efficient Corey Kluber. There's a breaking ball, bounced foul.
Already at first inning, they're already shooting at Andre. He had to get out of the way. This is a pretty good at bat here.
This is like a leadoff guy, the way Snyder's approaching this at bat.
Good, Andre standing up and waiting to do a part. As soon as you stand up, they're going to hit it at you.
This will be the 10th pitch of the at bat. Strike 3 called.
He was going down to take off his protection, and he's going to take a walk back.
2 down. All right, let's go down to Andre quickly while they're not shooting foul balls at him.
Well, we got to tell you something. With Corey Kluber, the one thing we know him for is throwing strikes. In his last 2 starts versus Detroit and then his last start at home, he walked the leadoff batters of those games. 8 balls in 9 first pitches. They said it was a mechanical flaw in his last start. Already off to a better start, but he did figure out that mechanical flaw in the last start and took off after that. But it got him in trouble early in both of those games. So far, that problem has not existed tonight.
Here's Jimmy Paredes looking a ball outside. Sometimes, like a golf swing, we've used this analogy before because more of us have swung a golf club than have ever pitched in a major league game, but it's the smallest little hitch in your swing or your delivery that can maybe throw you off. That ball's hit pretty well deep right field. Sprinting back is Moss on the track, can't get it. And it's over the fence on one hop into the seats for a ground rule double. Jimmy Paredes with a 2-out, 2-bagger keeps the inning alive for Baltimore.
Well, he's going to pick on a fastball right here and turned on it, middle in, and it bounces up into the seats.
Looked like a cutter, Rick, that just sort of spun maybe.
And it didn't have a lot of break to it. Normally it's late and you can see it. It was just a flat one. You know, what happens when you're throwing 93, 94, that's about 90. And if it doesn't cut, that's like a batting practice fastball for you.
Well, here's Chris Davis. Can't throw one of those to him. 15 homers, 42 driven in. Pops it up. Foul ground. Gomes over near the dugout and leeches in, but couldn't quite get to it. And took a quick tumble, but stays on his feet.
Well, that ball was up there for a while, but very tricky. Different ballparks. You're not used to it. You got to get over there and watch. See Gomes, there it is. He got stuck on the corner of the rail, and he had to work his way in. And then he's going to go take a walk down the dugout. That railing caught him. Might have been able to if he was able to get into that opening prior to it. No play.
So a break for Davis and the Birds. Kluber comes right back at him, and it's 0-2. A season best 5-game hitting streak for Davis. Going back a little further, he's picked up a hit in 11 out of his last 15 games. Just missed outside. A teaser, but couldn't get him to offer.
Well, take a look at it on our Nissan pitch tracker. It's away. It's off the plate. You can see it on that line of the right-handed batter's box.
Fouled that off of his foot. Davis already finds himself 7th on the Oriole Park all-time home run list with 77. He's coming up on Nick Markakis, a longtime Oriole who was not re-signed in the offseason. Markakis 6th best on that list with 82 home runs here.
93 punch-outs, though, for Davis. You make your pitches, he has a lot of holes. Only Carter with Houston has more. He has 99.
A high pop-up. This one's playable. Urshela backpedaling onto the grass. Calling for it. Inning over. No runs ahead. A man left. And we are scoreless after 1 in Baltimore.
Back in 2015 with the MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Carlos Santana will lead off the second for Cleveland. And a foul right back over the screen. Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a foul back. Down on the dirt, 2-2 the count. Wei-Yin Chen's last start was on June the 15th. Baltimore sent him to the minors in a move that was more about roster manipulation than it was about a demotion.
Right.
But that didn't keep his agent from firing out Scott Boras, who called the demotion, quote, grossly irregular. Even Chen shot out a Twitter that said, "I am disappointed that my routine is being interrupted." But all has been smoothed over since. 2-2 chop to third. Machado.
Don't hit it there.
Throws him out. 1 away. Our great clip of the game from Wednesday. Yan Gomes went down and got it. And it was a big hit. Kind of opened it up for the Tribe, enabling them to beat Detroit in the series finale. But essentially the move had more to do with Baltimore trying to move players around, give them an opportunity to take a longer look at guys. And hey, bottom line is Chen has options.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And while it is a little unusual, nothing they did was irregular or below the board. I should say illegal. 1-0 pitch. Gomes takes.
Well, he came off his longest, tying his career high with 8 innings pitched. He didn't allow a run in that start after they demoted him or optioned him back. But they had to make roster moves, and that happens. And I think his next start, when it came against the Blue Jays or something, they didn't want him pitching against the Blue Jays.
To left field, and Snyder comes in to make the catch. 2 down. He has not had a lot of success against that Blue Jays team with those big, powerful right-handed bats, so that was part of it. And Boras himself conceded that, hey, the Orioles had every right to do what they did. But I thought what was really strong, the comments he made after he said it was grossly irregular, he said, "I've never seen anything like this in the sport of baseball in my 30 years of doing this." I thought that was pretty strong. Like, really?
Well, he must not have. He's protecting his client, you know that.
Oh, he's got a bunch of them on this club, too. In addition to Wei-Yin Chen, Zach Britton, who left-hander in the bullpen, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters.
Wow.
Also Chris Parmelee, who could have opted out of his minor league contract on Monday but chose not to when the Orioles added him to the roster. They want to get another look at him, so he's in there tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. There's Parmelee.
You remember him with Minnesota, the Twins.
Tuesday had a career high 4 hits.
Yeah.
The 1-2 to Moss. Upstairs, he lays off 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can see he likes the road a heck of a lot better than he does at home.
He clobbers this one. Deep right field. Davis can only watch it fly out of here. Wow, that might have gone to Utah Street. Brandon Moss with his 12th home run of the year. RBI number 36, and it gives the Indians a 1-0 lead.
And his 10th on the road. That's the 12th home run given up by Wei and Chen. He threw a little slider up there, and I'll tell you, it speeds up the bat right up into up and in, and that's right where Brandon Moss, he got a hold of it, gives it a ride. That's the second home run by a left-hander off Chen this year.
You saw the fan catch it just shy of the gates, which lead out on the Utah street, so didn't quite make it.
9 of the 12 home runs he's given up have been solo shots now.
Now, good to see Brandon Moss get into one here. He's been doing a lot of self-evaluating, trying to figure out what his hang-up has been with his swing. And Giovanni Urshela swings it foul. First base side, just past the Orioles dugout and into the crowd.
For the Indians, that's their 59th home run, Matty, and 42 of them have been solo shots. 17 of their home runs have been with men on, which is the second fewest. But 42 solo shots now.
Here's the 2-2 to Urshela, and a ground ball right at Flaherty. Second baseman throws him out, and the inning is over. But Brandon Moss, with a no doubt about it, towering drive to right field, puts the Indians up 1-0. Moss, his 12th home run of the year, gives the Indians a 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the second. Chris Parmelee, J.J. Hardy, and Ryan Flaherty due up. Broke his back as he pulled that one foul.
He's trying to get the bat that cracked. His glove stuck in the crack.
That's unbelievable.
Do you see that? He got so deep into the kitchen, it shattered that handle, and his batting glove got caught in it. I mean, that was severely inside the cutter in, and he pulled it like right over the first base dugout. But look,
pinky.
Yeah, it's stuck. Can't get it out.
That's not something you see every day.
No, it is not. That was an emergency swing to stay alive right there. Looked like a little backdoor breaking ball, especially after you get inside on that kitchen. The hitter's conscious of it, because that's the worst feeling in the world when a guy gets in your kitchen that deep and you still got to come back for more.
Just a bit high. Swung on and missed. He chased it in the dirt. Corey Kluber has his second strikeout, 1 down.
It's going to be our Circle K strikeout tonight. You can see the breaking ball gets him to chase it. He worked him over pretty good in that at bat. Went inside early, gets him to swing at something out of the strike zone and in the dirt for out number 1. Redbird tells me that this is the first lead that Kluber has had since June 3rd, that start he had against Kansas City.
Upstairs, ball 1.
This is probably going to be, this is his last start in June, so he's looking for a win in this month.
Up 2-0. Hit a long way, deep left field, and we are tied at 1. J.J. Hardy, it's just his 3rd home run on the year.
Well, Hardy's a good fastball hitter, and he's been swinging the bat much better lately. Kluber gives up his 9th, and they come right back and tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. Let's see if it's a fastball. It certainly is. It's about belt high, and Kluber knew it. You see him put his head down as soon as the middle of the plate, and it leaves the yard. So we are tied. Pair of solo home runs in this game.
Ryan Flaherty lines a base hit in the right field. Pulled it right between Santana and Kipnis, more towards Santana. But no chance for the first baseman to flag it down. It was rifled through. And now the 8th place hitter, Caleb Joseph.
Now, the adjustments that Kluber has made, even as Andre was telling us about his last start, you know, his fastball command in those games early was rough. But right now, he's throwing strikes, commanding the fastball, but he's leaving it middle of the plate. And when you look at the pitches that were hit from Paredes, Hardy, and now Flaherty, they have all had a good portion of the plate right down the middle.
He tried to bunt here and fouls it back. Count 0-2. Last year, Caleb Joseph homered in 5 straight games. He's only the 15th catcher in the last 100 years to do that. And 6 of them have done it since the year 2000. The 0-2. Fisted foul, and that will get out of play. The others to do it just in the last 15 years: Devin Mesoraco, Buster Posey, A.J. Pierzynski, Brian McCann, and Javi Lopez. I was trying to remember, Rick, didn't Sandy Alomar have a stretch where he homered in about
5 games straight?
I thought it was, but Evidently not, because
that had to be the '97 season you're talking about, because yeah, that was the year that it was just off the charts for him.
Swung on and missed. Caleb Joseph goes down. That's a third strikeout. Did he get 5? Was it 5 in a row for Sandy?
I thought it might have been 4.
He might be on that list. He might be one of the 15. I got to check that out.
I remember he had a string. That's the year he had a hitting streak, I believe, of 30 games.
Well, remember, he opened the year like a house on fire.
Right. It must have been 4.
This is probably in his bio. I'm looking up here.
I'm going to bring up David Lowe now with 2 outs, getting a start in center field today. Adam Jones, day to day. They thought he might have a chance to be in the lineup, but as we can see, he is not.
Sandy did homer in 5 straight games.
Okay.
They started the season on the West Coast.
Okay,
he didn't homer in the first
Anaheim.
game, then he homered in the next 5 to wrap up that trip. And that was the tone setter for his magical season,
Yes,
wasn't it?
it was.
All-Star Game MVP with a home run.
At home.
Yeah, in Cleveland. David Lowe, he was a fan of those mid-90s teams that Sandy was a part of. Growing up in northeastern Ohio. On 1 pitch. And a strike call. Kluber's 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out Lowe to end the inning. A pair of solo home runs here in the second. Moss gives the Indians the lead. J.J. Hardy comes back to tie it. 1-1 after 2. For the Indians, it will be Mike Aviles to lead it off. And Mike Aviles takes, it's a strike. Oh, big curveball. That drops in. It's quickly 0-2.
That's the slowest pitch he's thrown tonight at 71 miles per hour.
popped right side. Will it stay in play? Parmalee to the seats. No. Just beyond his reach.
Another ballpark here that's not a lot of foul territory. Less as you go down the lines.
In another park, like so many that
92.
started out had the rubber track all the way around. Now it's got the crushed dirt on the warning track all the way around. Upstairs, 2-2.
We opened up this ballpark here.
1992.
1992.
Was that Rick Sutcliffe for Baltimore and
Yes,
Charlie
it
Nagy
was.
for Cleveland?
Yep.
Aviles pops one to left. Snyder over near the line. 1-1. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Most runs per game at Baltimore since 1999. How about the Indians at almost 6?
Well, nice ballpark to hit in.
And they have thrived like no other. So to the top of the order we go, and Jason Kipnis grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, you don't mind seeing other teams out there. You don't want to see the Yankees out there because they're in your division and you play them 9 times a year here.
Down the left side, out of play. So take me back. I never got to see a game in person, Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Pitchers Park, Fair Hitters Park.
It was a good park. Yeah, it was a fair park. The playing surface was always very nice, manicured beautifully. It was a fair park. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a hitter's park. I wouldn't say it was a pitcher's park. I mean, down the lines it wasn't real long, but these guys always had such a good pitching staff, and
It made it seem like a pitcher's park.
yeah, it made it seem like. But defensively, they were a very good club, too. You could walk out here 0 for 12 because you'd hit a ball you think gets in the hole, and they turn double plays, and it was like, oh, boy, here we go.
Here's a nice play by Hardy on a smash by Kipnis. 2-1. The reason I ask you, Rick, is that coming from Memorial Park and then coming into this ballpark, this is, a hitter's paradise. I just wondered, did they do that on purpose?
I really couldn't tell you that. I don't know. This is, the new ballpark back in the 90s where
it's the one that really started
to
the
shrink
trend
a little bit more, and the fans. There's the guy that made the transition from one to the other.
I don't think Jim would have liked pitching here.
No, but he would have. I mean, he was a high fastball. He was a high fastball guy that would drop the curveball. He'd find a way to win. He could pitch anywhere.
A 1-0. Foul. I mean, even in the small confines of this park, they've had some very good pitchers over the year. You think of Mike Mussina, who thrived here for how many years?
Right. Yes.
He found a way to get it done. We witnessed one of the greatest pitch games ever, I think, in that 1997 ALCS. Charlie Nagy against Chuck Mussina. I think it was a 2-1 game. It was a 1-0. It was a 1-0. Tony Fernandez hit the home run. I mean, those guys matched each other pitch for pitch, and it was just an absolute duel. Right back up the middle. Lindor rifles one to center. And all 3 hits for the Indians in the game have come with 2 outs.
Well, you got to go right back up the middle and almost catch his foot. You've got to jump up and get out of the way and get through, and you say, okay, good. You don't want the pitchers to touch the ball. Get it, miss it, let it go up the middle.
Now Michael Brantley lined a 2-out single to center field his first time up. Brushed him back a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brantley single in the first, bumps his average to 296 on the year. Coming into tonight's game, Michael has 35 hits at home, 35 hits on the road. How's that for consistency? On the year, now 34 hits against lefties, 37 hits against right-handers. He's down on the count here, 1-2. He set up inside, and he spins back out of the way. 2-2. Out of play. I think it's understandable that every hitter, if you really bust him in, you have a better chance to get him out of the way. But Michael Brantley is not like a lot of hitters. He doesn't seem to be deterred because you pitch him in once or twice hard. He'll still find a way to get the barrel to the ball on the outside part of the plate.
Well, then you have to stay inside. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen too many teams. We went on a West Coast swing, I think it was last year or whatever, and they really stayed in. With the Giants, we went to the Angels. But I don't see too many teams stay in there with him. You know, because he hits the ball every which way, and they figure, okay, we got to change our pattern. But they don't continually pitch him inside and see if he can pull the ball.
Lindor takes off on a 3-2 pitch, and Brantley strikes out to end the inning. First K for Chen. Middle of the third, 1-1 in Baltimore. Go to the bottom half of the third inning. Our T-Mobile game changer, Manny Machado, really picking up the pace. Last 18 games, he's hitting .427 with a dozen multi-hit efforts.
Well, trailing only Jason Kipnis, so you know he's been on fire. Has his batting average up to .304. I think it's .302 now after the ground out to third. He has good power. He will stay on the baseball, hit it to right field as well.
Well, hey, look, Manny Machado, a lot like Jason Kipnis. You saw him when he was healthy, fantastic player.
Yeah.
Last year he's dealing with injury, trying to get healthy, trying to come back from knee surgery. Takes a while to get healed up, to get your timing back, to feel like, okay, you're back to the player you know you can be, and now you're seeing it again.
Yeah, you got to, yes. It's tough enough playing this game healthy.
Kluber got him to ground to third his first time up. He's got him in the hole here 0-2. Oh, swung on and missed. He got him to chase, blowing away on a cut fastball for strikeout number 5 for Corey Kluber.
Well, I mean, he just put this one in a great location, down and away. You can see the late movement on there. Then once you start as a hitter, you think that's a fastball down and away, and you can see it just take off. That little downward movement, just a great location right there.
He's going to bring up Travis Snyder.
He ended up striking out, but had a pretty darn good at bat. 10-pitch at bat against Kluber the first time.
Swung on and missed. Well, Snyder fell behind 0-2 that first time up.
Yeah.
And then he spit on some very good pitches that were close. Worked the count back to full, and then eventually he was frozen up with a pitch right on the outside corner. Bullseye. 0-2 again. Snyder has 10 multi-hit games this year for Baltimore. A couple of 3-hit games. Bull frozen. Second called strikeout of the night, and Snyder's got both of them.
Well, after the fastball, he's going to follow it up with a nice slider. In the outside part of the plate, look at it, just freezes and stays right there.
Well, that's a beautiful look, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And there's nothing you can do as a hitter, boy. It's almost like you can see it breaking, but you can't pull the trigger.
Jimmy Paredes lined a double to deep right field his first time up. And
Change-up.
almost jerked his shoulder out of the socket.
Yeah, with the changeup. He's thrown a lot of changeups to left-handers to this point in the ball game, which I like.
Tried to shoot the outside corner with a fastball and missed by inches. They fouled that one right into the mitt of Yan Gomes. It's 1-2.
You know, they gave Kluber his first lead since June 3rd. It only lasted for a hitter until Hardy hit a solo home run, but he's struck out the side last inning. He has a chance to do it here as well.
Swung out and missed. He struck him out. Corey Kluber punches out 3 in a row here in the third. He has fanned 7 Orioles in the first 3 innings. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. 1-1 our score as we head to the fourth inning here in Baltimore. Ryan Rayburn to lead off for Cleveland, and Wei-Yin Chen delivers a first pitch strike. Rayburn grounded to third, his first and only time up. Chased one up high, and it count quickly is 0-2. Trying to get him to chase that high heater again, nothing doing. Breaking ball missed outside, and it's 2-2. See the way he was working, try to change the eye level by following up the high fastball with the breaking ball, but just didn't command it. And that one he got away with. That's one Ryan would love to have another hack at.
Well, sometimes when you see that ball go straight back like that one did, you're right on it. You just, I mean, by a fraction of an inch.
And that breaking ball is yanked to deep left field. Goodbye. Ryan Rayburn with his fourth home run of the year. A solo shot leading off the fourth inning puts the Indians on top 2-1. Sped him up, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. I think they wanted a back foot slider, and he didn't get it down there enough. And Rayburn, got the barrel out of the bat out in front and was able to get that ball, hit it in the seats. This will be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. See that one? Never got it down. They wanted it back. Back foot him. Couldn't do it. Didn't get it down and in, and he pays for it. That's the Indians' first hit with less than 2 outs, so you lead off with a home run now.
All 3 runs in the game coming on solo homers so far tonight. And Santana shoots one foul out of play to the right. Well, we want to send along happy birthday wishes tonight to Adeline Posota, celebrating her 100th birthday in North Ridgeville. She watches the games on television. Her favorite player back in the day was Ken Keltner.
Very nice. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Adeline. Santana flies to center for out number 1.
Well, grab some friends and catch a game out at the new Corner Bar, which is open to all fans at Progressive Field. It's the $13 district ticket. It's presented by Sports Time Ohio, and tickets are available only at Indians.com.
And up comes Yan Gomes, who lined to left. His first time up in the second inning. Out of play. Mark Rao in Parma, Ohio, is celebrating his 42nd birthday tonight. Mark has never watched a game here in Baltimore, because if he gets this close to the Ravens football stadium, he'll break out in hives. Now the 0-2. Upstairs. Fastball up and in, strikes him out. Second K for Chin. 2 down here in the fourth.
Nice elevated fastball.
Yeah, that was really good location for him. Let's go back to the second inning. Brandon Moss got a hanger, and he sent it out of here. Almost beyond the gates, if not for a nice play by the fan who brought the glove.
Got a pretty good arm, too, but we got to tell him to hit his cutoff man next time.
Overthrew the cutoff. Take a lap. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not too shabby right there. And there's a base hit right back up the middle. So Moss has Chen's number. Another 2-out hit for the Indians.
Well, something they couldn't do on their last homestand was hit with 2 outs, but they're doing it here. 4 of the first 5 hits have come with 2 outs. This one, a nice stroke. It was down. Gets it by Machado, who was playing pretty much the shortstop position. So Moss now 2 for 2.
And Giovanni Urshela grounded out his first time up. Looks at a ball up and away. And Urshela line drive base hit left field. Moss stops at second. And back-to-back 2-out singles keeps the inning alive now for Mike Aviles.
Urshela gets a slider to his liking. He better get out. That slider has hurt him a little bit tonight. That's the pitch Rayburn hit out.
Well, here's Giovanni now. He's hitting 5 straight games. Very quietly done a nice job at the plate. I mean, defensively, he's really been fun to watch.
You know what? That's fun. It's been fun to watch both Urshela and Lindor play since being called up. You know they're going to have some, some growing pains, but still they've held their own. For their early time up here,
and the fact that he's 8 out of 18 against left-handers
certainly
also
doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Mike Aviles turned out of the way. It's called a strike. Foul third base side. .49 out of 73 pitches for Wei-Yin Chen have been strikes so far tonight. Tribe has 2 on with 2 out on the 0-2 pitch to Aviles. Weakly grounded towards first. They'll go to second for the inning-ending force. But Ryan Rayburn steps into one. Got a hanging breaking ball, and he crushes it to left field to put the Indians on top 2-1. Time now to take a look at our injury report. Brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Dustin Pedroia down on the DL with a right hamstring injury for Boston. Byron Buxton, the young, really exciting player from Minnesota, already on the DL with a left thumb injury, and Anthony Rendon down for Washington with a quad strain. You know, in that Boston game the other night, too, I was watching. Pedroia had the hamstring problem, and Hanley Ramirez got drilled. Did you see that? He was on first base running to second. Whoever hit the ball, line drive, he wasn't looking, and it smoked him right on the wrist, and he had to leave the game. I thought maybe he'd be headed to the DL as well.
I did not see that.
Doesn't appear to be getting any better for Boston, that's for sure. 10 games under 500 at the start of the day. Chris Davis popped up on the infield his only time up back in the first.
The last 6 outs for Kluber have come on the strikeout pitch.
5 in a row since the single by Flaherty in the second inning. Pop back out of play. Since the start of last season, nobody has struck out more batters in all of baseball than Corey Kluber, and that includes Max Scherzer, who's now with the Nationals. 393 strikeouts for Corey Kluber. Davis got a piece.
Scherzer pitching tonight for the Nationals.
Yeah.
You know, coming off that no-hitter, he's gone 12 up and 12 down so far.
It's on a pretty good roll of late, too.
Yeah, I think so. One hit against Milwaukee.
And I didn't realize, because of all the strikeouts he had in that game, I didn't realize it was also a one-hitter for him.
Yeah, the 16 punch-outs, yeah, that was it. It was late in the game that they got the hit.
Just off the plate. Full count. And the payoff pitch. High fly ball. Center field. Brantley and Moss converge. Michael calls for it. 1 away.
Well, look at some of the Kluber strikeouts. So he's had very good stuff. Good breaking ball. Fastball that he's been able to get his fastball command early was he gave up the hits, 3 hits. There were pitches that had a lot of play, but he settled in, and he has had the strikeout pitch work at 7 to this point.
Well, a lot of it is pitching ahead of the count. This yanked deep right field, but foul. Pulled it. So Chris Parmelee, who struck out in the second inning. Just off the outside corner. Barely. 1-1. That previous pitch, though, that Parmelee took for a ball, if Kluber comes back and throws it here, it's a very effective pitch because now Parmelee's got to either go after it or leave it in the hands of the umpire, which he doesn't want to do.
Well, when you think about that, this is what you want as a hitter. If he's going to call that pitch a ball, whether it's ball 1, you want to call the ball on ball 4, you know? So you got to trust it now as a hitter. And as a pitcher, if you throw it strike, you want to do it. But a lot of times you'll get that hitter to swing at.
He went right back to it, and that's his 8th strikeout of the night. He set him up for this one. You could see it coming, couldn't you?
Well, yeah. Let's look and see if it is off the plate. That's a tough angle.
I think that's a good.
That might have been on the corner.
Yeah. Forcing him to have to swing at it.
Yeah, that was too close to take.
But it's a tough pitch to hit, even if it is on the plate.
Right. Yes, it is. Well, you got to protect inside. He jammed him the first time up. It broke his bat. Remember, he had his glove stuck in the crack. It's a constant mind game with hitter and pitcher.
Now J.J. Hardy hit a home run to left field on a belt-high fastball, counting for Baltimore's only run. Corey starts him off with a fastball up out of the strike zone for ball 1. And that perfect fastball here to even it out.
Yeah, you watch the pitch right there. Heater about belt high, and Hardy was able to get the barrel ahead of the bat out in front and catch it.
Try to get him to chase that high heater again, but nothing doing. 2-1.
Just missed it.
Left, and Aviles camps under it. Another strong inning for Corey Kluber. Gets his 8th strikeout of the night. The Orioles go 1-2-3, and after 4, 2-1 Cleveland. Dealers by the Cleveland Clinic. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough. Two-1 Cleveland. As we head now to the 5th inning, top of the order due up for Cleveland. Kipnis, Lindor, and Brantley. Jason 0 for 2 so far on the night. Just over the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Jammed him. Davis has to hurry. Throw to first. Did he get the bag? No! Excuse me. Parmalee was at first base. And when he spun around to try to feed the pitcher Chin, the throw was there, but Chen just couldn't find the bag with his foot.
Well, that's a tough. The rhythm of this play is all messed up here. As he comes in, he's got to turn. He's going to have to lead him. You're going to have the right footwork. And I'll tell you what, he caught it behind him, but did he get that foot on the bag, the back foot? Watch it. Did he hit that?
Oh, did he scrape it?
No, he did with that last one, but I'm trying to see the first one.
Right here, watch. Does the dirt scrape?
It's hard to tell if he gets the bag, and they're looking at it.
I don't think you can challenge that. That's going to be a tough one.
I agree with you.
Buck's looking. They're taking a long look, and he says no thank you.
Yeah, they can't.
So Jason Kipnis extends his hitting streak to 20 games as he's a big smile. I'll take it. You kidding me?
Well,
you know how many line drives I've had stolen away?
Not many this year. It was the rhythm. That throw from Parmalee was behind him a little bit. He had to lead him out in front. That's a tough play. But good for Kipnis. He gets a base knock.
Lindor tries to bunt. It's up in the air and caught by Joseph. Now Caleb Joseph quickly out and grabbed a pop-up bunt by Lindor. One away.
Well, it's not a sacrifice. It almost looked like he's bunting for a base hit right here. Tried to pull it down the third baseline. And, jabbed at it and popped it up.
Yeah, you can see the bat angling down towards the ground.
You jab at it and it's behind you. You got to pop it up.
There's Michael Brantley now. That was a good cut by Brantley and a foul right back. Rick, I was going to say about Kipnis. Now with a 20-game hitting streak, and the hitting streaks are fun. They're always great to talk about, great for us as fans and broadcasters analyze and watch. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when you look at his season. He's hit now in 39 out of his last 43 games. He's hitting at a .415 clip for almost 2 months. And it's very close. They don't turn the double play.
There's another one I'm sure they're going to look at again.
Kipnis is erased on the force, but on the turn, it did appear Brantley beat it out. That was the call by crew chief Larry Vanover. At first, let's take another look.
It wasn't hit that hard, so Hardy gets it. Yeah, that's he's in there. Here's the good look at it. The foot is on the bag, no question. But they get the second out, get the lead runner.
So anyway, just to wrap up, this isn't about a 19-game stretch where Kipnis is suddenly locked in. This is since May 9th.
He's been, I'm telling you, it's been 2 months, and you don't see guys stay that hot for that long. It's a rarity. It's unfortunate that the other guys can't pitch in and give him a little help because he's doing his job getting on the base. And he has 49 runs scored. But boy, the way he's been hitting, he should have 65 runs scored. No one can get him home.
Ryan Rayburn, who homered to left his last time up, takes a pitch that he's not in agreement with. It was called a strike, 1-1.
So Bobby gets the start tonight here, and the number 4 hole is a DH. And Bobby's in the dugout waiting for his opportunity later.
The 2-1 pitch, fouled right back. He tried to throw a back foot breaking ball, but it was out over the plate, and Rayburn got into it, drilled it out of here.
Nice little line drive stroke that got out in a hurry.
He's able to just jog around the bases. The other day when David Murphy had that triple, Rayburn said, he goes, I was winded just watching him run. I felt like I was out there running with him. That's the symbiotic relationship that those two have this year. 2-2. Not a play. Now, and as David Murphy said, nobody wants to be pinch hit for. When you start, you want to play the whole game.
Right.
But he said when the other guy is doing the job that he's doing, you just say, hey,
you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can understand it. No question. And then, again, though, it's a matter of knowing your role, and it's something that Tito's been, religious with every time, since the start of the season. Murphy gets his chance when the right-hander comes in, and Rayburn gets his when the lefty comes in. And that's all you can ask for, consistency. They accept it. They're both pros, and they're both veterans. And as a matter of fact, the Indians have the second most pinch hits in this American League at 17.
Down low, it's ball 4. Brantley was running. He'll go to second. And a 2-out walk. So once again, 2-out opportunity for the Tribe. Gear up for the second annual Velasano Bike Ride for Cancer Research, July 17th through the 19th. An option for everyone. 6 different routes. They all start and finish in downtown Cleveland. 1- and 2-day rides are available. Every dollar raised benefits cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Spread the word. Bike to Cure. Velasano.org. We had Paul Dolan with us on the last homestand. He's doing the 2-day ride. He's doing the big
100.
dog.
Yeah, he's going over 100 miles. That's
Santana swinging a foul back.
take me 2 days to drive 100 miles. Let alone get on a bike and get after it. Bart Swain's going to be doing it too, right?
Yeah. Not the big 100-mile deal.
No, he'll go half of that, right? Have you ever been a bike rider?
Nope. Not since I was 12.
Okay.
0-1 pitch. 13. I can't remember what. I think you could
quit riding?
14 years old, I think, is when you could get your license for a motorized bike, and that's when I stopped riding a bicycle.
Okay. So you're telling me you had a motorized bike?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They called them
Amazing.
mopeds back in the day. Everybody had them back then.
Well, in Ashland, I can see you didn't want to ride your bikes around there.
Too many hills.
Yeah, the horses would beat you to wherever you're going. You needed to have a motorized
That's
bike.
right. You got to get around them somehow. Two on, 2 out. A 1-ball, 2-strike count for Santana, who is grounded out and fly to center. And strike 3 call on the breaking ball. Third strikeout for Chen. Indians strand a pair here in the 5th. They still lead it 2-1. Sunday afternoon, we're back at it here with the final game of the Tribe Series with the Orioles. Trevor Bauer goes up against Ubaldo Jimenez. Alan Jensen will start the day at 1 with Indians Live, and then we're here with the first pitch at 1:30 on Sports Time Ohio. There's Trevor Bauer, who has been the Tribe's road warrior this year. Corey Kluber goes to work against Ryan Flaherty here in the 5th. Flaherty is the last Oriole to reach when he singled in the 2nd inning. A little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed, and Corey Kluber has fanned 9 Baltimore hitters tonight.
Boy, sharp breaking slider there. Sharp, crisp. You know, he's had very good breaking stuff between the cutter and the slider. You'll get a look at it. 1 bounce there, he gets the strikeout. I mean, his is late breaking. You can see it. It never gets there. That one, he just locks him up, and that's a called 3rd strike. Nice slider going tonight.
Caleb Joseph struck out in the 2nd inning. Matt Wieters not playing tonight, but they're getting closer to getting him in there so he can catch in back-to-back games.
Yeah, he hasn't done that. You know, he started his first game in Cleveland, you know, coming off that list to play, and still has yet to catch back-to-back games. And hopefully they're saying by the All-Star break, if not there, then shortly thereafter.
He says it's feeling better and stronger each and every day. He had Tommy John surgery.
Right.
I mean, you know how long it takes for a pitcher to come back from that. Different situation when you're a position player. However,
they are such a better team with him in there. The switch hitting catcher who's got some pop. Hard to believe they played in Boston yesterday. He hit his first home run in Fenway Park. Can you believe that? And it was right-handed, and he went to right center field into the bullpen. But I'm sure he'll be right back in there tomorrow. And possibly DH on Sunday.
Runs a count full to Caleb Joseph here. Payoff pitch, bounce to 3rd. Urshela from behind the bag makes a perfect throw. 2 down. Let's take a look at our Levin player profile on Matt Wieters, who was the 5th round pick of the Birds, 5th overall back in 07. He's already won a couple of Gold Gloves. And look, when he came back, that coincided with, you know, they've won 15 out of 20.
Right.
They're 14-5 since he was activated.
You know, free agent at the end of the year. So, you know, they thought he was going to return at the start of the year. Just didn't happen that way. Because you just never know how long it takes the people to come back from that. And he's a catcher, and you got different throws to make. But boy, when he's on, he's a good player. He's fun to watch. Another big, tall catcher.
David Lowe is starting in center field tonight because Adam Jones is still not in the lineup. He's missed 5 straight. And there are some who are wondering if, in fact, he will have to go on the DL after all this. He's got a shoulder injury. Buck Showalter said it's a pretty good bruise in there. But he also feels like that Jones is progressing quickly. But when you miss 5 straight and what's 8 out of 10 now?
Yeah, 8 out of 10. I think Let me look at how many he's missed this year. He's missed more this year than he has in
11.
the last 3 years. 11.
I'm sorry, he's missed 9 this season. Most since he sat out 11 games 4 years ago.
Yeah, and
he's a guy normally.
That 4 years. He's out there every single day for 158 to 160.
Wow, Corey Kluber with a 4-pitch walk to David Lowe. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, as you guys talk about Adam Jones, it looks like a decision could come down in the next 24 hours on whether he'll go on the 15-day DL. Manny Machado comes up to the bat right now with one on, and he's hitting leadoff. And a lot of people kind of question Buck Showalter about that. And when I brought it to Terry Francona, he said, heck, what's the difference between him or Jason Kipnis batting leadoff? He goes, as a matter of fact, I wish Buck would hit him ninth while we're here this weekend. He goes, when you have a guy like this that can swing the bat the way Machado can swing the bat, he goes, that's 60 to 100 extra at bats. And he goes, that's why I put Kipnis in the leadoff spot. And I totally understand why Machado's hitting leadoff for Baltimore.
Well, and also, this isn't a speedster's kind of a park. You don't need a.
No.
Oh, man, right up the gut. Machado with a base hit low, stops at second. Brantley got to it quickly.
That's an 8-game hitting streak for Machado now.
Back-to-back birds reach here with 2 outs in the 5th.
So there you go. That's another fastball up a little bit, elevated. Finds a hole right up the middle.
Brutally basic approach. But yeah, you don't need a guy that's a stolen base guy to lead off when you play 81 games in this park.
It's a different generation now. They don't run like they used to. Hamilton might be the one guy, with Cincinnati, that you say, okay, he's a burner, he's going to steal, 60, 70, 80 bags. You want to lead him up, and they took him out of the leadoff spot. Nowadays, you see some of your best hitters hitting second in the lineup instead of third. So it's changing. You don't get it. You have some guys that can run, but boy, you get your hitters extra at-bats is what you do. You put them into the top 3 spots.
Well, Travis Snyder has struck out twice tonight, both times looking. He's up with 2 on and 2 out, and he cuts and misses. You see Corey wasn't going to feed him a fastball. He went off speed. And Snyder out in front.
That's why if you're fortunate as a team to have a number 4 hole hitter that can take it deep, like a Nelson Cruz. You can hit for power, you can hit for average, you can drive you in a lot of runs. That's what the Indians need. They'd love to have a number 4 hole hitter. They've got guys that can get on base.
Gets ahead 0-2. Good pitch. Wasn't sure it was going to get called for a strike. But Brian Knight raises the right hand. Let's take another look. It's right at the bottom of the zone, but yeah, knee high indeed.
A little tracer right there.
And the 0-2. Oh, he got it with a slider in the dirt. Gomes flips it to first. 10th strikeout of the night for Corey Kluber, and the Orioles strand a pair. 5 in the books. It's the Indians 2 and the Orioles 1.
tickets start at just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. And kids tickets located in the new family deck out at Progressive Field, home to our expanded kids clubhouse, and the offer is available only at Indians.com.
Yan Gomes to lead off the 6th inning for Cleveland. Up and away, ball 1. Gomes lined to left in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th. Brad Brock getting loose for Baltimore.
This is something that the Orioles starters haven't been doing, giving the length to Buck Showalter. And that pen has had to do a lot of work lately. They've been doing a fine job. But he's into the 6th inning now. But they have it ready to go, as he always does.
That was his 95th pitch of the night. And it's not that he's been nibbling. He's thrown, 62 of his 95 pitches have been strikes.
Only walked 1.
But his only problem tonight, it's not the solo homers. That's going to happen in this ballpark.
Correct.
It's the 2-out hits that have extended an inning and made him maybe throw a few more extra pitches. That's the only thing that's going to keep him from getting really deep.
Yeah, you're right.
In-game recap brought to you by Toyota. Solo homers, the story of the night. Brandon Moss, 2-out, solo jack in the 2nd. J.J. Hardy came back in the bottom of the 2nd to tie it. And then in the 4th, Brian Rayburn led off with a solo home run. And that is all of the scoring to this point.
Yeah, that's been it. And, for Kluber, they still only get him 2 runs. Boy, you'd love to see a couple more on the board here in the middle part of the game, the way Corey's pitching.
To your point, Rick, Corey Kluber, the lowest run support in the majors at 2.17. Now, run support is computed on when he's in the game.
Right.
And so
there's other ways of doing it, say, for the team. But when he's in the game, that's it. They have their average tonight for him. But, boy, a couple more would look pretty.
Moss trying to pull the ball on back-to-back pitches, broke his bat. This time he'll need a new one.
Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's so different. And that's why, as a starting pitcher, it's out of your control. All you can do is really go out there and try and hold that other team down and make it a close ball game. You can't score. I was going to say, you got to wait. Only if Kluber could pitch in a National League game where he has a chance to hit, that's the only difference he could make. If he had a bat in his hand.
Moss pops it up. This is playable, I do believe. Parmalee. That's the guy. Well, as you say, it is out of your control. That's reasonable. That's logical. But emotionally, it has to bother you at some point.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't bother you. They're human. They have feelings. They want to see that W, next to their name, because if you don't get the W and your team doesn't get it, that's the thing for Kluber. What's the team when he starts out of his 15 starts?
Foul back. Take another look here.
Front foot slipped. Yeah, it looked like he was sitting on ice. There it goes. That front foot gave way. That's all they've won is 3 games, I think, when he's been on the mound.
Yes.
3 and 12.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
I mean, that's what bothers you. You could accept a little more if you go out there on your night and you pitch and your team wins. That's one thing. But when your team doesn't win and you're out there, that can get to you. But you would never be able to tell with that guy. He doesn't change. His expressions never change.
Foul back. I'll give you a good example in a minute. 0-2 pitch. He strikes out Urshela. We talked about this recently, Rick, about how baseball's the one game where when you have the ball, you're on defense.
Right.
So for Kluber, it's like being a middle linebacker and making 25 tackles in a game. You did your part, you feel like you did, but you still lose the game. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you feel bad. It doesn't matter what numbers you put up.
Yeah.
Right.
And he could strike out the world, but it's not going to matter to Corey Kluber because he's in this thing to win the game. Wants to win.
That's a team game. You need it. You need your teammates. But they've made it hard for him because they just haven't scored for him. And I don't care who you are, you're not going to win when you only get 2 runs a game. You'll win a few.
And as Jason Kipnis, the on-deck hitter, has said, guys are trying. They're grinding. Yeah. They're giving the effort. It's just the results haven't been there.
Well, no one's questioning the effort put forth or anything like that. It's just that something has to change. Sooner or later, you got to get some hits with runners on base.
Gillis goes down swinging. That's 5 Ks for Chen. And the leadoff walk wasted by the Tribe here in the 6th. They still lead it 2-1. Wei-Yin Chen, a handshake from his manager indicating his night is over after he went 6 innings. He's on the short end of the 2-1 score. Corey Kluber, 5th time he struck out 10 or more. 18th time in his career. And already the 13th time by an Indians pitcher this year. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they have some arms, boy. They can get they have a lot of swing and miss stuff. They have some starters with some quality pitches.
Jimmy Paredes, who doubled in the first, struck out his last time up. Bunts one high in the air. Urshela can't quite get to it.
Well, just trying to get that leadoff man aboard, I think Paredes is. He's one of their better hitters.
Just a good look.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the ball on the ground. But a guy that's not normally used to bunting, that's why you do. You pop it up.
He slugs one up the alley again. This time Moss cuts it off, though, and he'll hold him to a long leadoff single.
Paredes this time got a changeup that he was able to hit into the gap, but it didn't hit that hard. Moss started to track it, maybe a little off the end of the bat. Didn't have that good jump to it. But it was a changeup, so Paredes now 2 for 2. That's the tying run on first. That's hit number 5 for Baltimore tonight. And it is their first time that they've had their leadoff man aboard.
Down in the dirt. Good pick by Gomes. Good pitch at the knees. Two balls and a strike. Davis, like Brandon Moss, has that uppercut swing.
Yeah, and a lot of left-handers.
When they connect, they can hit them a long way, but they can also hit some towering pop-ups.
Yes.
In addition to swing and miss.
Jim Tillman used to be that.
Yeah.
You know, the left-handers are big swings. They have holes on the inside part of the plate because they're swinging up high. But if you find that nitro zone, they go a long way.
To right, Moss coming hard, makes the catch. And back to first goes Paredes. Sounded like he might have broken his bat.
I think he did. It didn't sound very good. Well, season tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. Today's Tribe Rewards TV code is NAGGY. Well, you visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
We saw Chuck during the Indians 1995 reunion weekend. And as we talked about earlier, he pitched the first game in this ballpark and also pitched one of the best games in Indians history. It was also in this ballpark when the Tribe beat Baltimore in Game 6 of the '97 ALCS to go to the World Series. Chris Parmelee has struck out twice on the night. Foul right back. It's 1-1. Vancouver just now at 90 pitches on the night. Baltimore bullpen getting hot. Cleveland's bullpen quiet. White Sox and Tigers tied 3-3 in the 6th at Comerica Park. Milwaukee pounding Minnesota at Miller Park 6-1. They're only in the 2nd inning. Wow. A little bit high. 2-1.
Trevor May that started for Minnesota.
Kansas City's out on the West Coast. They're playing in Oakland tonight. Be underway in about an hour. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And Kluber throws it by him to even the count. Turned out to be a beautiful evening there in Baltimore, but over the next 24 hours, it sounds like it's going to be wet.
I think all over the east.
Pretty nice crowd. I don't think it's sold out, but not a lot of empty seats here tonight. 2-2 to Parmalee, a little bit high, full count.
Tomorrow may be the sellout.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But show Walter Gnome giveaway.
Could you have ever imagined that would be a known giveaway?
I know. Oh, Bud.
Looks like
he's tired.
Kluber's put the Orioles bats to sleep so far.
Yes, he sure has. But he's just figuring, do I start my runner here or not? He's got 10 strikeouts. He started him. That's what you're thinking about as a manager. Okay, 3-1. We haven't done anything. What do I do? Do I start him? He's got 10 strikeouts. He could very easily get 11 if he makes his pitch. And if Brady's on the, on first, he's not a base stealer. He's stolen 3 out of 5. But you say, okay, I got to try and start something, maybe get a hole and hope my hitter puts it in play. So the opportunity is there for a strike him out, throw him out. But his pitch has been the slider. He's thrown a good slider. That'd be the pitch to run on if you want to.
Runner goes. Yanked by Santana down the right field line. Moss over. He'll cut it off. Parmalee's coming around third. Now he gets the stop sign. Paredes has to hurry back to third.
That's a good thing he stopped.
The Orioles at second and third with 1 out here in the 6th inning now.
Well, it comes as a double, the second one tonight, and that Parmalee, tell you what, he hit it and he was on the run, and the hole is right there. I'm surprised he rounded third. He was thinking, oh, this is a small ballpark, and Moss gets over to that ball. It never gets to the wall, and he gets it in. And you can see the coach saying, stop, where are you going?
But you know what I noticed, though, Rick? He picked up his coach who was waving him. Then he put his head down as he hit the bag, and when he picked it up, he saw the stop sign and had to jam on the brakes.
A lot of times he said, uh-oh, I got a score now, so he probably tried to kick it in gear. I got you. Well, now, second and third and 1 out, a chance to tie it up at the infield back.
Tribe getting the bullpen hot. McAllister warming for Cleveland. Kluber deals in for a strike to J.J. Hardy, who homered in the second, fly to left in the fourth.
Well, they take a fly ball out here with a man on tying run on third base as McAllister cranks it up and gets loose.
Well, remember, should he hit a fly ball to left, it's Aviles in left field, not Brantley. Brantley's in center tonight. Mike's got a good arm, but Brantley's one of the best in left field when it comes to throwing out runners.
He hit the fastball off Kluber for the home run. He made it out on a fastball. He just popped up and just missed. He's got to attack him with the breaking ball here. And, you just show him the fastball like he did there. Upstairs like you're going to do it and start that slider up and break it down and away.
Swung out and missed on the outside part of the plate. Perfect location of that cut fastball.
Yes. Now you can throw something with a 1-2 pitch a little slower like the slider, and you may get him to chase it out of the zone. Or you can come back with another excellent cutter like he put that one right there. This is when you have swing and miss stuff, you go for the punch out. He's looking for number 11 right here.
On his 99th pitch of the night.
Elevated the fastball, but you can see he was just able to foul it off. Maybe to take him off. Maybe to take him off the breaking ball. You know, he said, I'm going to throw that fastball and see if I can get it by him up if a swing and miss, but he did get a piece of it.
Tying run at third, go ahead run at second. Bottom of the 6th. Kluber's 1-2. Drilled. Brantley tagging his Paredes. He's coming home. He will score the tying run.
That's just a good at-bat by Hardy. He did come with the slider, but he didn't get it down and away. I think this one stayed on the plate. And I'll tell you, that's a good job of hitting for Hardy just to get the ball elevated. Let's look at the sequence here. There's the cutter, strike one. Now he's going to elevate the fastball he missed with. Come back with a cutter. 1-2. Elevates the fastball again. He gets a piece of it. Now he tries to come with the breaking ball left at middle of the plate. Didn't get it down and away. So Hardy gets the job. He's driven in both the runs for the Orioles on the sacrifice fly.
Mickey Callaway will head to the center of the diamond as the bullpen continues to get hot. Let's pause and send it back to the studios for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
Very strong stuff, Al.
He was perfect into the 6th.
I know he was. Gave up a double.
He's been on some kind of roll.
He's been on a roll that you don't see often.
Well, Mickey Callaway has talked to Kluber. And you've got Ryan Flaherty coming up. Caleb Joseph on deck. There are 2 down now. Go ahead run is in scoring position. Parmalee, not a burner. Didn't run all that well at second base. Flaherty takes a strike.
Well, you can bet on a base hit. They're going to send him.
Yeah, with 2 outs, he ought to be able to get a good enough jump.
Well, you get a good enough jump, you've got to try and take it. You're at the bottom part of their lineup. Unless it's just a one-hopper. He's going to send him.
Here comes Brantley. He charges. He throws home. Safe. Orioles take the lead on a 2-out RBI single by Ryan Flaherty. 3-2 Baltimore.
Well, a little different from center field when you get in. That ball wasn't hit hard enough, and I don't think Brantley, even with a good throw, would have had him. With 2 outs, you're off and running. It's blooped in front of him, and then when he tries to gather stuff, because you're running in so hard to get the ball, you can see the throw way offline. And then that man goes to second base, and you put him in scoring position. So they get the 2-out base hit. They take the lead, the first lead for them tonight, 3-2.
And that brings up Caleb Joseph, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Fly ball right center field. Moss, the right fielder, makes the catch. Baltimore comes back with 2 in the 6th. They take a 1-run lead. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable. 3-2 Baltimore now as we head to the 7th inning, and the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen is for Brad Brock, right-hander coming on for the Birds. He leads Oriole relievers and ranks 3rd among AL relief pitchers with 44 strikeouts on the year. He's averaging a little better than 11 per 9 innings.
Well, the last time he pitched against the Indians, which was June 6th in Cleveland, he struck out 4. That's his high.
13 strikeouts in his last 8 appearances. So he's got the top of the order here. Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, Michael Brantley. Kipnis an infield single his last time up. That extended his hitting streak to 20 games. This could be big though right here for Jason to try to get on to start the inning. Almost a misplay by Brock, but he recovers in time to throw him out 1 away. Well, coming up in less than a month, baseball's best players gather in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic. It's the All-Star Game, and our coverage begins July 14th at 7 Eastern on Fox, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Francisco Lindor is 1 out of 3. He singled in the 3rd, but in a key at bat, especially the way this game is now played out. Jason Kipnis, after that leadoff hit in the 5th, he tried to bunt and he popped it up, fouled out, and the potential rally fizzled from there. Both runs for the Indians tonight coming on solo homers. One by Brandon Moss, one by Ryan Rayburn. Hits are even at 7 apiece.
Their 42nd, 43rd solo home run on the year out of their 60.
Lindor line drive, base hit into left field.
Hit a nice pitch going down, serving it to left field. That's a really nice job of hitting.
And a tying run aboard for Michael Brantley.
2 strikes, 1-2. Look at him go down and get that pitch. That's a really good pitch by the pitcher, and you go, holy smokes, that guy just did my out pitch. Hit number 8 for the Tribe, 2nd for Lindor.
Michael Brantley 1 out of 3. Lindor looked like he was going to take off. Now he jammed on the brakes again. He took off, stopped, went back, and then he saw Joseph drop the ball, and he took off again and jammed on the brakes yet again.
You know what happened? Brantley was going to bunt there and then take it. He was going to put the bat out front and pull it back, as hitters do when a base stealer is going to try and steal a base. But he quit running. Obviously, he felt he didn't have a good enough jump. That's why he stopped. And then the catcher missed the ball, so it's too late to start it up again.
Close play at first. Oh, boy. Lindor just did beat the tag of Parmelee.
All right, now you know you won't be going out quite that far. You take about. Ooh, he might have had him. They might have had him.
Well, I tell you what,
they're gonna check it.
He says no.
Wow.
Showalter waved it off.
It looked like they tagged it right before the hand got back in there.
It was close. Definitely very close. Well, I always get nervous, Rick, when I'm up here and I see that catcher set up really tight inside, because that either tells you he's going to try to throw behind him or they're going to throw over there. Here he is again.
Usually they throw over, because what happens when that catcher moves to the inside part of the plate, the hitter sees the pitcher throw to first base, you take a quick peek back where he's sitting. And that's why catchers say, well, maybe I think I'm going to pitch him inside, for the next pitch coming to the plate. See, here late in the game, out of the bullpen, you don't want to pitch a lot of hitters inside because one swing of the bat here can beat you.
Wow. A perfectly placed double play ball ends the inning. So it remains 3-2 Baltimore, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Tomorrow on Fox, your local Fox station, tune in to see the Indians take on the Baltimore Orioles at 7 Eastern. Cody Anderson will make his second big league start for the Tribe. The game will also stream live on Fox Sports Go. It's baseball night in America. Cliff Floyd will be handling the analysis duties. Gary Thorne, who is the television voice of the Baltimore Orioles, will handle the play-by-play. Here's a bouncer right back to Corey Kluber. Are you surprised to see Kluber back out here in the 7th?
Not really. Not really. You know, he had his bullpen going last inning, and you didn't make the move, and he gave up the 2-out base hit. So now, let him go out there. He's facing 9-1-2. Let's see if he can have a quick inning, get him back in, and try and get him a win. You got to score for the guy.
Top of the order, Manny Machado, base hit his last time.
I'm not surprised. 104 pitches now. Doesn't surprise me. Let him go. I mean, he hasn't had any stressful innings. The last inning, they had 3 hits in the inning. That was it.
Machado's single in the 5th gives him an 8-game hitting streak. Equals his season high. Had an 8-gamer earlier this month.
There you go. Very 1970, 12, 50. He hasn't mixed in one of those 8 or 9 pitch innings or a 7 pitch inning yet today. But
that's only because he's had so many strikeouts.
Yeah, they've swung and missed. Right, they haven't put it in play.
Struck out 5 in a row at one point. Deep down the left field line, but he hooks it foul. And a 1-2 pitch. Pops him up. Third baseman Giovanni Urshela. 2 down. And that will bring up Travis Snyder. Snyder is 0 for 3 on the night and has struck out all 3 times. First 2 times up, Snyder went down looking. Last time up, he chased a breaking ball in the dirt. That was the 10th strikeout of the game for Corey Kluber, and the last one he has recorded. Just missed for ball 1. Outside corner. It's been a good pitch for him all night long. Mickey Callaway keeping his charts on the bench. Tries to pull it. Weak tapper to Kipnis, who will flip it from the glove to Santana. And Kluber cruises through the 7th. But the Indians still trail it 3-2. Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care, is coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Alan Jensen will have the highlights and analyze today's game between the Indians and the O's. 8th inning, Darren O'Day coming on for Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm sure Kluber's night is over now, so you can come on offense. Let's go. You get 1 to get him off the hook, 2 to give him the lead and a chance to win.
Darren O'Day, 4 wins out of the bullpen. It's tied for first among AL relievers, 4th in all of baseball. How many times do you think that the Indians have played a game in which the opposing team, their first 2 guys out of the bullpen, have both been right-handed?
This year, boy, not many.
This might be a first.
It might be.
Michael Bourne's going to pinch hit for Ryan Rayburn, leading off the 8th inning. And it glances off his bat on the check swing.
You're right. It hasn't been many. But you know who's coming next inning? The left-handed closer for Baltimore. Britton.
Well, they lost one of their left-handers. T.J. McFarland was sent out to make the roster move to get Wei-Yin Chen on for today's start. So they're down to just Britton and Mattis from the left side of their bullpen. Well, Michael Bourne trying to jumpstart the Tribe here in the 8th. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. 1 for 4 on the year as a pinch hitter. Close, but he was able to hold up.
Tough pitch to take. He was sitting away, and that slider comes in. It might have been low because it had plate.
O'Day's 1-2 pitch sails high and then evens the count.
Yeah, even as left-handers, you may pick this guy up. It still takes you a few pitches to see where that arm slot comes from because he gives you a lot of deception. A lot of arms and legs, and he comes down from the side. He's tough to pick up. But lefties certainly see it better than righties.
One strikes out, 1 away. Well, as we promised you earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. On this date, 2007, Kelly Shopping off Alan Embry.
Big fly.
The chopper.
People don't know why you nicknamed him the Chopper. That bat would fly out of his hand.
He hated that.
I know he did.
Oh, that would just get under his skin if you ever asked him about it. But he, for whatever reason, he could launch some bats.
Yes, he could. That's why we nicknamed him the Chopper.
He had a couple of 100-foot-plus tosses, accidental as they were. Santana fouls it off, and he's in the hole 0-2.
The only one better than Shopping was Cliff Johnson that I played.
Yeah?
He could throw him with the best of them. He had a bad hand at one point in time, but I mean, they'd reach the outfield grass.
Missed outside, 1-2.
See, the big right-hander, when he comes at you, he goes down like this, then brings his arm back up a little bit. It's not really sidearm. His motion goes down. And that time he stayed down.
And Santana jerks it deep right field and gone.
Oh my goodness, boy, that's a save right there.
Carlos ties the game with his 9th home run of the season. All 3 runs for the Tribe tonight on solo homers.
Did you see where this pitch was?
Yeah.
He picked it up off the ground. Wow. He was down 2 strikes. No, they can't believe he hit that pitch. Watch, it's a grounder. Holy smokes, and that thing got out of here. He golfed that one out of here, and we have a tie game, and at least it gets Kluber off the hook. Now you need one more if that's how you're going to score. See if Gomes can get one.
Carlos nailed one of those flag poles out there.
Yes, he did.
Gomes is swinging a miss on a slow breaking ball. Swing and a miss. He came right back to it, and it's 0-2.
That's quick work.
3
right
in
there.
a row. I mean, just back to back to back. Same pitch. And Gomes strikes out 2 down. AT&T U-verse rewind. Brandon Moss, first time up, obliterated one to give the Indians the early lead. Then in the 4th, solid single right back up the gut. So he's 2 for 3 on the night as he steps in here. Upstairs, ball 1. Orioles have the shift on, and Flaherty's way out in the shallow right. Straightens him up again, 2-0. I don't know if he's just purposely pitching around him or if he's just not able to locate the pitch where he wants to.
Well, he's not going to give him any swinging room out there where he can do what Santana did on something down. He knows he's a good low ball hitter. And in this park, he'll take his chances to a rookie right-hander that's never faced him before.
Yeah, Urshela on deck.
But, you know, you still have David Murphy in there where he could go to left and you bring Aviles into third.
4-pitch walk. Let's see what Terry Francona does. He's calling back Urshela, just as you pointed out. He'll go to David Murphy.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, now this is why he probably let off Michael Bourne in this situation, knowing if you get down or anything happens, he'll have Murphy to come on with a man on base. So, you know, he was way ahead of us.
Best pinch hitter the Indians have. He's 8 for 22 with 3 homers and 5 runs batted in.
And the Indians second in the American League with 17 pinch hits. They trail only Tampa that has 18.
The Bobby and Bobby combo have accounted for 13 of those pinch hits.
So I'm sure that's the move that'll take place. Murph will go to left, Aviles will come to third. And we'll get a new pitcher. But let's see if the Indians can put one more on the board with 2 outs. Santana, 1-out home run, and the Indians, as you said, 3 solo home runs to get them on the board tonight. So that's been their, that's 44 solos on the year.
Murphy falls behind here, 0-2.
Yeah, this is O'Day's inning, so there's nobody else up in that Oriole bullpen right now. So just get a base hit, keep it going. This crowd wants to get out of the inning.
Murphy strikes out and the inning is over. But Carlos Santana goes down low, digs one out, and we are tied at 3, middle of the 8th. Tuesday, the 2015 Women's World Cup semifinals begin as Alex Morton and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the finals on the line. Coverage begins Tuesday at 6 Eastern, only on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, we head now to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Mark Zipchinski will be the first Indians reliever to pitch here tonight, making his 35th appearance of the year. He's got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Baltimore. Jimmy Paredes is a switch hitter, and then the back-to-back lefties, Davis and Parmalee. Defensively now, Mike Aviles goes from left field to third base, and David Murphy is now your left fielder. First ball swinging. Paredes drives one deep right center field, and it short hops the wall. Moss picks it up, fires it in. A leadoff double for Jimmy Paredes, his 3rd hit of the night. And all 3 hits, Rick, have been in the same spot in the ballpark.
They certainly have. 2 of them left-handed. This one coming from the right side of the plate. He's a better hitter from the left side. When you look at Paredes, he's hitting .242, and that's his 3rd double from the right side of the plate. He hasn't homered, but he's going to give the Orioles a good start. That one bounced off the top of the wall. He cruises into second base. Now they're looking to get him over and get him in. So we have Davis and Parmalee, 2 left-handed hitters next. Hardy after to follow.
Base hit right field. Here comes the go-ahead run. Paredes will score. Davis with an RBI single. 2 pitches, and Baltimore is back on top.
Boy, that did not last long, did it? 2 pitches, and that was a hanging. I think it was a hanging breaking ball. Able to speed up his bat. It was. He went out and got it. He was trying to pull it anyway because of the man on second base, and he's a good low ball hitter. So back comes Baltimore. They take a 4-3 lead on 2 pitches.
Chris Parmalee is 1 out of 3. He doubled and scored in the 6th. Brian Shaw now up in the tri pen.
He'll be coming on after this hitter.
There's a rip to right center field. Base hit.
Can you believe it?
Davis stops at second.
3 pitches, 3 hits. And that's going to do it for Zipchinski. Wow.
That's the life of a relief pitcher sometimes.
Well, he comes right back with a high fastball. Parmalee jumps on it. So it's 3 straight hits, and it comes on consecutive pitches. So his night is over.
Timeout in Baltimore. Orioles now lead it 4-3. Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Right now, the Indians are in the soup. They're down 4-3. Baltimore has 2 on, nobody out. And the new pitcher is Brian Shaw. Shaw making his 33rd appearance. Last 11 games, Shaw has been very good, holding the opposition to 5 hits and 36 at bats with 11 strikeouts. He'll be facing J.J. Hardy, who has driven in 2 of Baltimore's 4 runs on the night.
He was lucky to flag that one down.
A 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. J.J. Hardy. Out of play. Earlier this month, he had an 11-game hitting streak. Ended about a week ago. Missed inside. It's one of those guys that he's got good power, but his main job is just to play good defense. He's a Gold Glover at short.
Yes, he is.
Chopped right back up the middle. Lindor kicks the bag, goes to first. Double play. Davis goes to third. Probably a good thing Shaw didn't get it.
Yeah, no question about it. Right there, trust your fielders. Much easier play for Lindor to just kick the bag and throw it himself instead of the transfer from the pitchers. But, you know, it's just human reaction. You see that ball coming at you, you try to get it.
They're going to intentionally walk Flaherty to go right on right with Caleb Joseph, who's on deck. It's one of those deals where, I mean, historically, you look at this matchup and you say it'd probably rather pitch to Flaherty because he's never been much of an offensive player.
That one almost got plate there.
But he's got 2 hits on the night, and he's driven in a run.
You know, he's always done something against the Indians that I can remember for the last few years he's been around. He comes up with a big hit every now and then, and, you know, you check his numbers. I'll bet he's done well against the Tribe.
Well, 297 in his career, covering 20 games.
There you go. For him, who's not a 290.
Right, he's a 220 hitter basically in the big leagues. But this guy scares you only because Caleb Joseph obviously has some pop. Even though he's only hit the 5 homers this year, his batting average isn't a whole lot to write home about. But you play the percentages here and hope that the right-on-right matchup gets you out of the inning and keeps it a 1-run game.
Yeah.
Going into the ninth.
Well, that was only the 6th time in Flaherty's career that he's been intentionally walked.
It's kind of like you get up there and you're looking around like, me?
Yeah.
You're going to walk me?
Well, it dictates it. Sometimes you just go ahead, man. You're up there. Let's go. We like our matchup with the guy that's on deck.
Joseph shoots one foul right side. Got up everybody got up out of their seats, though, thinking maybe it would slice fair.
But did you notice how aggressive the Orioles have been off the bullpen coming into this inning?
This inning was unreal.
Yeah. First 3 pitches at Zipchinski, and first 3 and only 3 pitches he threw, there were base hits. So they've been aggressive.
I'd love to know too if that's a scouting report or if that's just simply hitters in those situations getting pitches that they liked and got
It's
after.
a little both. I think it might be a little both. You know, every bullpen guy tries to come out and throw strike one. You know that coming out. So what you're going to do, you're going to look for something that you can handle. You know, most of the time it's going to be a fastball. With Davis, he caught a breaking ball that was down a little bit off Zipchinski, but he was going to try and pull and get the job done. So he got a pitch he could handle, and then Parmalee hit a fastball. But when you only play a team 6 times a year, it's hard to, have any scouting report of your own on them.
To right field, Moss is there, and the inning is over. But Baltimore, first 3 hitters, first 3 pitches, and the Orioles have the lead 4-3. (4-3) Baltimore as we take a look back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Run support for Kluber. He came in with the lowest in Major League Baseball, 2.17. They got him 3 tonight to take him off the hook. No decision for Kluber. And while the Indians have played well on the road, they're up against it now.
That 3rd run came in the 8th inning with 1 out, and it was a solo home run. So yeah, they're up against it is right. They've got Zach Britton, their closer, in, who is 21 out of 22. And you can see the numbers for the hitters that he is going to face.
Nolan Reimold has taken over for Travis Snyder in left field. And for the Indians, Mike Aviles to lead it off here in the 9th.
And he has converted 17 consecutive saves. So yeah, you want to get that leadoff man aboard and see what happens. It's a sinker baller. It throws hard. There you go.
Base hit in the right field for Aviles on the first pitch.
Yeah, he's a sinker baller.
We've got a theme going here.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You get the tying run aboard, and he's a sinker ball upstairs, fastball. So Aviles wastes no time, and that's what you look for, boy. Give me something I can handle. He usually pitches down in the zone. He goes the other way, so gets a base hit. A good start to the inning. Both teams now with 10 hits. See if the Indians can cash in.
A strike called over the outside corner to Kipnis. Just inside. The 1-1. Kipnis slowly chops it towards second. He'll flip it to short. Hardy's relay it. Not in time. Just not hit hard enough. And Kipnis able to beat it out.
Yeah, I mean, they made it closer than I thought it was going to be, because if he could step on second, I could see him doing it, but he wasn't close enough, so he had to flip the ball. Boy, but they made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Kipnis, he gets a foot on the base by the time Parmalee gets the ball in his glove, so good hustle getting down there.
Francisco Lindor, he is 2 for 4 on the night with a couple of singles. And Lindor takes a strike from Zach Britton. Britton, a former starter who was converted to the bullpen last season, and what a conversion it was. In 71 games last year, his first out of the pen, he saved 37 games with a 1.65 earned run average.
Well, that's adapting quickly, isn't it?
Yeah. Lindor lost the bat.
Wow,
What a nice grab.
Are you kidding me? The flying baton goes into the seats and the guy caught it. I don't know if it got anybody down in front of him.
Yeah, I think a young lady. Well, Lindor down in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, he missed to even it up. Kipnis the tying run at first base here in the ninth. Hits are even at 10 apiece, but Baltimore clinging to a 1-run lead. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down. Pretty good pitch. It's up. Tough to lay off with 2 strikes.
Well, he throws hard enough where you don't realize it. Normally he's a sinker baller, so you're looking down in the zone. He ran that one upstairs and by Lindor. He gets a strikeout. He went outside, inside, then up.
It comes down to Michael Brantley. And this crowd of 31,112 rising to its feet. Blowing away, ball 1. The 1-0. Brantley with a bouncer to Flaherty. Take the opener 4-3. Darren O'Day gets the win. He's 5-0 and he's tied for the league lead in wins among relief pitchers. Zach Britton notches his 22nd save on the year. The loss goes to Mark Zipchinski, who falls to 1-3. With the win, Baltimore is 39-34. They won 3 out of 4 against Cleveland on the year. The Indians dropped to 33-39.